It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football and certainly the loudest as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the New Orleans Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Saints, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job.
That doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
To use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. He'll look to throw. Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far as a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Chiefs are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And he gets this to Thornton. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. So from back deep in their home territory all the way into the end zone. Do you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also show that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. deep. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
2nd and 9 now. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he goes out right around the 39. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it may yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He's got Mason complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They'll look to throw now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, that's one way you take away a first down as a defender. Make sure you have a little bit of physical play when the ball gets to the receiver. Find a way to jostle it free. They caught him off guard, forced the incompletion.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and you play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Back to throw again. There's Chris Olave. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 30-yard line. They'll look to throw again. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
On 2nd down, Teague. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone. Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. Try and take you out of that. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, Teague. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now, they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Albert Okwuegbunam. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chiefs have moved out in front. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Under a minute to go, clock running, and a back-and-forth first quarter of play. On play action, it's Mahomes. Man open, here is Jones.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mahomes to throw once more.
Got his man. It's Thornton.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown.
Tyquan Thornton.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Chiefs go up by 2 touchdowns. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds Riddick, complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Oh, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. There have been points on the board. We just saw back-to-back touchdown drives. I love it. I'm high-fiving our statistician, Christian McLeod, and you're angry. You're a defensive guy.
If you met one of my defensive coordinators, God rest his soul, I'm surprised he isn't in this booth right now wanting to really take you on. This is not football the way he sees it. He wants a good old-fashioned kicking game, defense, field position, and we're getting an up-and-down-the-field game here.
I'll take him. Where's his tombstone?
Boot Hill, baby.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. They go play fake. Mahomes. Downfield and caught by Thornton. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyquan Thornton on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
He finds his man, complete. That's Mason. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Up the middle they go. T, and he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Let's go.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to go up top again. And oh, it'll be intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
This defense, 3 interceptions now. And, Charles, obviously that one for the pick 6. That gives them a 3-possession lead, and they are really in the driver's seat.
Makes you imagine what that lead could become with another half of football left to play, because the way they're getting after it, partner, 30 points, 40 points, even
from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
The last time, everything looked pretty good except that final play on the pick 6. And now they've got to come right back out here, Charles, and try to pick up the pieces and get things going again.
Yeah, it certainly seems dire, doesn't it? But there is a silver lining, and it is hard to see so soon after. But the game plan was definitely working. They were generating offense, had the ball beyond midfield, getting wins on each down against the defense. So they're moving it well. They just have to hang on to it.
Yeah, as you said, though, probably tough to remember those good things on that last drive when it ended like it did.
They'll run on first down. Teague, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Here's 2nd and 8. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football.
Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
With that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Touchdown!
Tyquan Thornton.
On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Chiefs continue to pull away here in this first half.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the rout is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it?
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this...
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs.
He's got room at the 30.
And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown.
Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
We'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That was actually throwing game 101 right there. You challenge double coverage like that, you're liable to get burned. Fortunate that was just incomplete.
This time they stay on the ground. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27.
So we've come upon halftime here in KC with the Chiefs on top.
As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Take it to the house.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin.
The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Back to throw now on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
He finds his man complete. That's Mason. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 20-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 68 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Right back to him on first down. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more.
Touchdown, Saints! A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints get a bit closer.
That touchdown was for all the fantasy people out there. May not change the final outcome, but some points were scored, and maybe some of the people at home are really excited to get those.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Buying time to his left. And he gets this to Thornton. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 66 yards. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They match.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Albert O with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Chiefs are pouring it on. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
They're going to look to throw. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
A loss of 3 on a sack made by multiple defenders.
Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Elsewhere, a third-quarter score from NRG Stadium in Houston. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10.
They'll get that complete to Albert O.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep...
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Mixing up the middle.
60 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Mahomes now to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
Alontae Taylor in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Around the NFL, they've gone to the 3rd in Cleveland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. This is taken at the 10. 49-yard punt. 5 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first three quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
And he's got it. Touchdown.
Tyquan Thornton
from 17 yards out.
And the Chiefs add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They go play action here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be second down. Back to throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Mason. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 39. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's got Mason complete.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating.
And now here's another interception.
Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. again. It's Mixon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 80 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
On the run, this will be Anderson. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And it's taken in at the 9. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going to...
There he goes, left side. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive game. Just keep that clock ticking.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Hey, 43, 15.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one. Good bounce-back win. They take the knee, can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realizes there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Chiefs, they make amends for their week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.